Gabriel?
I'm afraid he's not in there, Mrs. Holden.
Oh?
He left early this morning.
Thanks.
Is everything all right, Mrs. Holden?
Yeah. That's right. Slam the door when you've got a splitting headache. Oh, God, I wish I could get to sleep. Thanks. All right, Gabrielle. I finally figured out what you've been up to. Good morning, darling.
Oh, who hit me with a sledgehammer?
I'm afraid you've got a slight hangover to look forward to.
Oh.
Don't you remember how drunk you got last night?
Oh, I lost count after the 5th scotch and soda. What time is it?
It's 9 o'clock. It's our first morning together as man and wife. I'm the happiest woman in the world. Even though my wedding night plans did get a little sidetracked because of your state of inebriation.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gotten so drunk.
It's all right. I forgive you. I'd forgive you anything now that you're all mine. Even... No, I promised myself I'd never mention her name again.
Good idea. In fact, I would appreciate it if we changed the whole subject.
Come on, don't blame yourself for us getting recaptured. It's not your fault.
No. I never should have let that constable get the drop on us like that. What the hell have you done with Delilah?
Why don't you just belt up and see for yourself? Bring the lovely on in, Benny. There she is, mate. Now you three can settle down and make a nice little cozy home here and play house to your heart's content, eh? Well, come on, Benny. Let's give him a chance to chat about old times.
Delilah, you all right?
I think so. I just catch my breath for a minute. Oh, what the hell is going on here?
I don't know. What the hell are you doing here? How'd they get a hold of you?
Last Thanksgiving, I was on my way to a fashion show in New York City. Well, it was snowing like mad that day, and the cab that I was in, of course, it broke down. I wasn't that far from the airport, and I didn't want to miss my flight. So I decided to walk. Well, it was a little bit farther than I had anticipated, and I missed my plane. There was another one, though, within the hour. And even though it was full, I found this woman who would sell me her ticket. And so I bought it.
Well, but then that means nobody knew you were on that flight.
Right. I was going to call Rafe when I got to New York. But I never got a chance to because when I got off the plane in New York, I saw the two of you across the terminal.
Yeah, last Thanksgiving. That's exactly when we were headed home. We were going to surprise a family.
I couldn't believe it. I thought, what a wonderful coincidence to see you. I hadn't seen you both in so long. I was on my way to say hello, welcome home. And then I saw these two men grab you, haul you out of the terminal, and throw you into a car. I stood there. I couldn't believe it. I got into a cab, and I followed you to the docks. When I saw them take you onto a freighter, I got really scared, and I decided that I better call home. I found a phone booth, I don't know how, and I started to dial the number. And the last thing I remember is someone hitting me in the back of my head, and I'm in this horrible place. I thought it was a dream. It couldn't possibly be real, but after the days and the months went by, I realized that it was a nightmare, and that I probably was never going to wake up again.
Delilah, what have the guards said to you? Have they asked you anything that give you some kind of clue why you're here, too?
Well, at first, I didn't know. But now I'm certain, Bo. There is someone out there impersonating you.
I can't wait to leave on honeymoon. Geneva will be simply beautiful this time of year. And I'll get to see all my friends. You know, I've already told them we're coming. And I know they're going to throw a whole string of marvelous parties for us. Oh, darling, it'll be just smashing, don't you think?
Yeah, wonderful.
And clothes. I get to buy a whole new wardrobe now that I'm a respectable married lady. And there's this absolutely wonderful shop in Geneva that sells all the latest trendy fashions from Paris. Why, I could spend the day there while you're attending the reading of your father's will.
Please. I wish you wouldn't discuss it. It's too depressing.
Oh, I know it must be awful. You loved your father very much. I don't know how I'll ever be able to bear the day when I have to sit across from Daddy's barrister and listen to his last wishes being read. I suppose it's something we all have to face sooner or later.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to face it so soon. My father was a vital man. He had a lot of good years ahead of him. Unfortunately, Donald Lamore saw to it that he would never live to see them.
No, but you can't dwell in the past, darling. Your father's murder was very tragic indeed, but you've got to get on with your life. That's what he would have wanted.
Look, I think I should take a shower. Maybe it'll help me wake up and get rid of this headache.
All right. But don't take too long, hmm? We promised Daddy that we'd drop by and see him before we left for Europe.
Hey, Rob, listen, you rust me up some coffee. I need something to get me going. Sure.
Hey, Max. I was hoping I'd find you here. I need
John?
a favor.
Sure, sit down. What's up?
I need a room for a couple of nights. I just want to get my place fixed up.
What's the matter? You redecorating?
Yeah, but not by choice. It seems every time I get my place into shape, Melinda wants to redecorate it.
I'm not following you. What's going on?
Well, it all started here. She took her suite here and turned it into something out of a chapter of 1001 Arabian Nights for me.
You know, housekeeping was wondering where that fan came from.
Yeah. Well, then she took my place and turned it into a jungle. She came swinging in on a damn vine like Jane. I'll give you 3 guesses who she wanted me to be.
Cheetah?
Oh, that's cute. That's real cute. Tarzan. Tarzan!
That was my second guess.
Yeah, well, last night I come home. She's got 2 guys in there setting the stage for Anthony and Cleopatra.
Ooh, sounds kinky. I like that.
Max, I'm telling you, I can't take it anymore. I mean, I'm afraid to go home. What if the next time it's Esther Williams
You are Max.
film and my place is flooded?
Would you like some?
No, thanks. What's so funny?
Nothing. Listen, I really don't know Melinda that well, but I never would have guessed she had such a vivid imagination. I just hope you can keep up with it.
Max, it's not her imagination I'm worried about keeping up with.
Look, I know what's going on. It's written all over your face. Gabrielle, you have to forget about Max. Look, I know it's not going to be easy. I know that firsthand. When I broke up with Max, it was terrible. I had countless sleepless nights, just like you're having right now.
Tina, I was up most of the night with Al. That's why I'm so tired this morning.
Look, this is me you're talking to. I know what you're going through. I go through it every single time I fall in love. It's like an obsession.
Is it that obvious?
Yes, it is. But believe me, I am living proof that you can just forget about Max Holden and get on with your life as soon as you realize that there are other men out there.
I wish I could. I've tried, but I just don't seem to be able to.
We'll try harder. Think about Steve. Gabrielle, he's your husband. You belong with him.
No, I don't. I belong with Max. Don't you see, Tina? Max is the father of my child. We belong together.
Morning, Rick.
Morning, Steve. Stopped by the house and picked up some more books for us to read today. I got an anthology of poetry from your shelf there. I thought that might be good for us. A little change, huh? Wither, I can't believe that. You have the corner of this page turned down. Great or good or kind or fair, I will ne'er the more despair. If she loved me, this believe, I will die ere she shall grieve. If she slight me when I woo, I can scorn and let her go. For if she be not for me, what care I for whom she be? I love that poem, too. It's just amazing to me. And here you have the corner turned down on the thing. Our tastes are so much alike, Steve. I mean, I can understand Wuthering Heights, but Wither, he's pretty obscure. Don't you think? I wish we could talk about all this stuff.
Who's out there?
I wish I could
Who's
sit
been
down and have
by
a
my side all this time, reading to me so lovingly? Is it you, Gabrielle? Is it you?
Look, I know when you share a child with a man, there's a special bond between you. I mean, I've been down that road with Cord.
Yes, but you see, this is different. I have a right to love Max.
A right?
Yes. Here's the proof.
What's that?
This is a letter that Steve wrote before he went away. In it, he writes, if anything should happen to him, he wants Max and I to get on with our lives together. So you see, it's all right for me to love Max. Look, I know he's in a coma, and I'm very happy and grateful and relieved that he's breathing on his own. But, Tina, you've seen him for yourself. What kind of life is he living?
But that's not for me to decide. Look, Gabrielle, all I can tell you is to forget about Max. You've got to stop forcing yourself on him. You can't make him love you. Look, and I know Max. The more you push him, the more he's going to resist.
You know, you're right. You're absolutely right. I don't know why I didn't see it myself. I've just been totally obsessed with the whole idea. I have to stop torturing myself and just see him as the father of Al. I should really start smiling so that he could see me in a different way. And you know what?
What?
I'm going to start right this minute. Tina, you really are a true friend. Thank you so much. You were right to speak up. I needed you to bring me to my senses.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
You have. You really have. But look, I need to ask another favor of you. Sure you won't mind?
No, sure.
Would you look after Al just for a few minutes?
Well, I'd love to.
Great. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Wait a minute. Where are you going?
I'm going to go do something I should have done a long time ago.
I think I've created a monster.
I'm telling you, the woman is running me ragged.
Face it, John. You're getting old.
Max, I wish I had a chance to grow old. I don't think I will with her.
Uh-oh.
What?
The plane, boss, the plane.
Max, get up. Get up. Don't you dare tell her that I'm going to have a room here.
Oh, the scarf.
Excuse me.
Oh, hi. Hi, Max.
Hi, have you ever given much thought to the court of Louis XVI?
Not recently, Max. No. Why?
Well, I heard they were real swingers, too, back then.
Have you been talking to John Russell? Well, that little stinker. So tell me, exactly what did the gentleman tell you?
Elizabeth, once more you have come through in our darkest hour. Stonecrest Mansion is perfect, and the old bomb shelter behind the main house will make the perfect dungeon for Beau Buchanan and company.
Well, thank heavens, your people recaptured them. Now we can bring them here, watch over them, and then go to the final step of our operation.
Yes, it's one less worry, knowing they'll be imprisoned where we can keep an eye on them. Now, all we have to do is wait for the reading of Alex Crown's will. And for Robert to return from Europe with the money, then I get my hands on it and close the deal on Stonecrest. Did you see the realtor's eyes light up when I told him it would be a cash deal?
Oh, no. Those weren't lights in his eyes, Henry. Those were dollar signs. That's something we're all going to be looking at pretty soon. And I know exactly what I'm going to do with my share of the Buchanan empire, too.
Not to mention the added bonus of Tina's share of the Lord account.
Elizabeth, I'll admit it. I'm in this for the money, as well as getting even with the Buchanans. But With Tina's share of Vicky's inheritance, my cash register is going to be even fuller.
What will you do with your share of the booty, Elizabeth?
Rebuild Sanders Chemical into the best pharmaceutical company in the world. When Asa Buchanan stole it out from under my nose, I swore that someday he'd pay for it. And at last, that day has come.
Indeed it has, and it is a glorious day. Joanna is married to Robert, and I'll have enough money to live like a lord. With enough left over to provide for my daughter the kind of life she deserves. Free from the taint of my past connections with the mob.
Well, we've all looked into our Christmas stockings, and we've all found exactly what we asked Santa Claus for, so I think it's about time we take those last few steps that we have so neatly put into place.
Provided your dance partner is willing to take those steps with you.
Tina? No, wait, are you kidding? I've got Tina exactly where I want her. Pretty soon I'm going to be walking right down the aisle with her on my arm, and I'm going to be smiling all the way to the bank.
Only one of the lots are in agreement as soon as we put the final stages of our plan into operation.
Thank you, Malcolm.
That will be Joanna and Robert.
I think we better leave. Rob has seen too much of you here already. He's bound to start wondering what you're doing spending so much time in the enemy camp.
I wouldn't worry about Robert. I have him well under control.
Be that as it may, I still think that we...
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, my dear.
Are we interrupting?
No, we're just talking over some business. Just, Elizabeth, I want that Sanders Chemical report on my desk tomorrow.
You'll get them when I've finished with them.
Oh, that's fine. Listen, you two, congratulations. And have a wonderful trip, okay?
Why, thank you, Bo.
Do I get a farewell hug?
Well, I think I should start working on those reports. That man is completely irascible when he wants something. I'll see you before you leave.
Happy?
Ecstatic.
Good. Now have a wonderful honeymoon, but hurry back. I've got a smashing wedding present for both of you.
Really? What is it?
You always were one to rattle the presents, weren't you?
Oh, do tell us, Daddy. I couldn't bear the suspense of not knowing until we get back.
Very well. It's your new home, Stonecrest Mansion.
Oh, Daddy, how marvelous. When can we move in?
Should be ready within a week. That's why I was wondering when you plan to come back from Europe. I thought you might like to have a hand in the redecorating.
Oh, I'd love to. I can do it up like Wellesley Hall. If I get a chance, I'll pop over and have a look-see at the old place. Maybe get some ideas.
No, I wouldn't do that. It's been closed up for so long. Besides, shouldn't your new home reflect your new country?
Oh, yes, you're right. I'll make it into a showcase for the very best that America has to offer.
That's the spirit. By the way, you don't mind if I stay with you at the mansion just until I conclude my business in the States?
Well, of course we won't mind. Will we, Robert?
More the merrier.
Fine, then it's all settled.
Wonderful. Now, when shall I tell the decorators to expect you?
I suppose our return from Europe will depend on how long we have to stay in Geneva for the reading of the will.
When do you suppose that will be, Robert?
Well, actually, I don't think that matters because I've decided not to go.
What?
I'm calling the trustees to tell them to give all of my father's money away to charity. It's all mob money anyway. I have no use for it.
What makes you think that somebody's impersonating me?
Well, the only interest that these guys have in me is the information that they're trying to find out about you. And ever since I've been here, they keep asking me these very odd, very intimate questions.
Like what?
Like what kind of food you like, what time you get up in the morning, how long we were on our honeymoon, where we went, how you felt when I told you that I couldn't have children, and why we got divorced.
See, that's the same way that they've been grilling me. It's obvious whatever's going on here, I'm right in the center of it. And it's not because they want me to be a guest on This Is Your Life.
No, so this conclusion that you had about someone impersonating you isn't so wild after all, especially after what you've told us.
No. No, you know what the funny thing is? I thought that you were probably my only hope. Because if somebody's running around pretending they were me, you would be the one to bust them on it. But you've been right here with us all along, huh? Damn. I just wish I could figure out who answered the phone when I called Ace's house.
You got a chance to call home?
Yeah. When we broke out, we took refuge in this little cottage. Well, the guy that owns it, he let us use the phone, so I called back to Pa's place to see if I could get some help. Whoever answered the phone, they turned us in. That's why the constable was on our tail. If I just knew who the hell answered that phone.
Oh, it was probably the guy who's impersonating you. He's the one who answered the phone.
Well, if that's the case, then whatever plan these people are doing, it's already in process now, and the Buchanan family's in trouble.
Oh, damn it. You know what? We got to try to break out of here again.
Bo, I agree with you, but these guards are not going to hesitate to kill us if we try to break out of here again.
Yeah, but we're just going to have to put them to the test. One more time.
Well, since you already know everything, what's that you were saying about the court of Louis XVI?
Just that it was supposed to be a really wild time.
Really? Tell me more.
No. That would spoil all the fun. Just use your imagination. From what I hear, it's pretty vivid.
What else did he tell you?
You sure you want to know?
Oh, yes.
I think you better sit down.
Oh, boy.
Well, listen, I don't think John's too interested in these little trips to Fantasy Island anymore.
He told you that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I find that a little hard to believe. I mean, Antony and Cleopatra last night was a little bit rough, but... but, I mean, I can't imagine you'd be bored already.
No, boredom is not the problem. The problem is fatigue.
Fatigue? Oh, well. Oh, that's too bad. Well, I guess the next time I'll just have to find someone with a little more stamina, huh?
I ever tell you about the time I won the Boston Marathon? Listen, I hope I wasn't out of line bringing this stuff up. But I gotta tell you something. Hearing about your escapades, it's the first time I've had a smile on my face in a long time.
Well, wouldn't it be nice if that smile became permanent?
I love those long, hot summer days when all you can...
You know, it just has to be like at the right...
Well, it looks like you two are having a jolly good time. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I really do need to speak to Max.
Hi, well, actually, we were just discussing late 18th century French history.
As I say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Max, I need to have a word with you.
Can't this wait?
Not really.
But it's okay, really. Actually, you know, I have to go to the library and do a little research on Louis XVI. You know, I'd hate to be uninformed the next time the subject came up.
Well, it looks like I missed something.
Oh, nothing. Just a little private joke.
I see.
Oh, come on. Don't give me that attitude. What's wrong? What's so important?
Well, I was thinking that I would take our son for a walk. I wondered if you'd like to join us.
Why?
Because it's a lovely day. No particular reason. You haven't been out with us in a long time.
Gabrielle, I'm tired of you using my son to manipulate me.
I wasn't. I just thought you might like to go out and spend some time with me and Al.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not interested in playing house with you?
Max, would you listen to me? What is wrong with going out for a small walk?
Sorry to cut in like this. I was up at Max's suite looking for you, Gabrielle. Tina said I might find you down here.
Yes, Rafe, what is it?
Well, I have some new photos, and I was hoping that you might identify one of them as the guy who attacked you.
Is it possible for me to look at these later, perhaps down at the station?
Well, if this is a bad time.
No, this is a perfect time. You need to get a handle on that attacker, and I need to get back to work. Adios. Gabrielle?
What?
The photos?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. None of them look familiar.
Are you sure?
Yes, why?
Well, you went through them kind of quickly. Maybe you should take some more time looking them over.
Rafe, I'm absolutely positive. None of them look familiar. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Are you the new person drawn toward me? Do you suppose you will find in me your ideal? Do you think I am trusty and faithful? Do you suppose yourself advancing on real ground toward a real heroic man? Have you no thought, O dreamer, that it may all be illusion? How many people know this side of you, Steve? I mean, does anybody? Because all I've heard is that you are quite the cowpoke. Maybe that's the illusion, and the real man is here in these letters and in these books and in the poems. And I don't know.
Who are you?
I don't know you. I know a lot of...
Why are you here? Your voice. I know now that it isn't Gabrielle's. And if it isn't Gabrielle, then who is it? Why is this woman so patiently reading to me? Why did she go to all the trouble of finding my favorite passages? She seems so sweet and so kind. If only I could wake up. If only I could shake off this darkness and see her, talk to her, thank her.
I appreciate your feelings, Robert, but I think it only proper that you attend the reading of your father's will.
Why? I've already had enough sleepless nights getting over the fact that he was murdered. I don't need to go to a depressing ceremony to have all those memories stirred up again.
Precisely my point. You need to face the last chapter. Then you can close the book once and for all.
I'm sorry, I've already made up my mind. I'm going to tell the trustees to give the money to charity, and that's that.
I can't fault your generosity, but if that is your intent, might I make a suggestion?
What?
Allow me to set up a charitable foundation in your father's name. He was my friend, too, you know. And I can think of no better way to honor that friendship than set up a foundation, much like the one in the Leighton family name.
Look, it's really not necessary to go to all that bother when the trustees will...
It's no bother. You simply go to Geneva, authorize the trustees to contact me. With regard to the transfer of the money, I'll take care of the rest. Consider it another wedding present.
I don't know.
Please, please, Robert. Oh, my friends are expecting us. What harm could it do to go to the reading, and then we'll have all that time in Geneva to enjoy ourselves?
Okay, I'll go.
Oh.
I'll sign over the money, but this is the last time I ever want to hear about this.
Thank you. Thank you, darling.
Might I suggest that you make Geneva your first stop? You see, that way you can get it all over with, and on you go to enjoy the rest of your honeymoon.
Well, it'll mean taking a later flight.
Oh, that's fine. It'll give us just enough time to see Stonecrest before we leave.
All right, well, I'll go change reservations.
And I'll call my friends in Geneva and tell them about our change of plans. Oh, Daddy, thank you.
You're welcome, my darling. Now, take care. Take care, both of you. How many more of these close calls can you take, Henry, old boy? Better get Elizabeth to speed up her plan before it comes crashing down around us.
Something really new is in the works at the Huggies Diaper Factory. They're rolling out the driest Huggies ever. Kleenex Huggies Super Trim Diapers with the new Dry Touch system. Only...
Smashing, old chap. Now be sure to let me know when everything's arranged. Fine. Goodbye. Elizabeth, the very person I wanted to see.
Why, is there a problem of some sort?
A near disaster. Robert intended to authorize the trustees of his father's will to hand everything over to charity. Charity, mark you, the money that we tried so hard to get from the real Beau Buchanan's Hong Kong bank account.
Heavens, what did you do?
I told Robert that his intentions were noble indeed, but rather than hand over the money indiscriminately, that he should allow me to set up a charitable foundation, much like the one that bears my family's name.
I didn't know there was a Leighton Foundation.
There isn't. But he swallowed the idea, hook, line, and sinker. My lawyers, at this moment, are ironing everything out, putting everything in place. When Robert releases the money, I'll tuck it away in the foundation.
I see. Well, then there's only one final and most difficult hurdle. When Dr. Bruner gets Asa to the point of advanced senility, it's going to be up to Beau to persuade poor old Asa to turn over all the Buchanan holdings to him.
That's going to be tricky.
I know that. But it's absolutely essential that Beau succeeds. It's the only way I can reclaim Sanders Chemical and see to it that Asa Buchanan is destroyed. Like the lowest form of animal life, he is.
If only we could find out who's behind all of this.
Probably Lord Henry Leighton.
Who's he?
When we busted out of here before, we found out that this is actually an estate. We jumped over this wall, and there was a plaque on the other side that said Wellesley Hall. Now, Eli Partridge, the guy who owned that little cottage, he told us that this place belongs to this Lord Henry guy. Now, if we can find some connection between this Henry and the Buchanan family, maybe we can find something that we can use once we break out of here.
Well, did Asa ever mention his name? Maybe he had business dealings with him or something.
No, not that I can remember.
Wait a minute. Wait. I think I remember. I was supposed to do a fashion show in London, and my local contacts here said that if I could get a Joanna Leighton to attend, it would be a real coup. Now, do you think that maybe she's related to this Lord Henry?
Yeah, maybe. What if she is?
Well, because maybe he wants her to marry into a rich American family, and you and Clint are already married, so he had to replace one of you, and that's why they had me write those letters to my family saying I divorced you.
See, that could be a possibility. I don't know.
What?
We've always heard that money can move mountains. Well, if this Lord Henry, if he's out to grab a lot of it, what better way to sweeten the pot than to just grab Buchanan Enterprises?
Right. And what better way to take over than to plant an imposter in the camp that you're trying to take over? Oh, no.
Well, what a heartwarming scene of domesticity, eh? Almost seems a shame to break it up.
No, okay. Now, what the hell do you want now?
Well, Alf and me was feeling kind of bored. Seeing as how there's no telly down here, we thought we might invite the ladies to join us for a spot of tea.
Yeah, that's right, Ben. What's a cup of tea, I always say, without a couple of lovely crumpets to accompany it?
No, keep your gun.
Conversation over a cup of tea.
Yeah, great. You know, it's doesn't care about me or Al. He looked at me as if I was mad, if I wanted him to walk on the moon or something.
Gabrielle, what is all this yelling about?
It's Max. He makes me so angry sometimes.
Look, I don't know what happened. Just try to keep your voice down, okay? Because I don't want the baby to get...
I don't care what you want, all right? If it weren't for you, this never would have happened.
What is going on? What happened?
My head is splitting open, and you're not helping it get any better.
Okay, fine. Just calm down and keep your voice down.
Look, I just want you to leave me alone, okay? Why don't you just take your good advice and take it home, okay? Why don't you just leave? I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I shouldn't take this out on you.
Take what out on me? What happened?
Tina, please be a friend. Leave me alone. I just need to be alone right now.
Sure. If you want to talk, call me.
Oh.
Ray, any luck with those photos?
Nope. Gabrielle insists that she didn't recognize any of the faces.
Until you catch that attacker, are you going to offer Gabrielle police protection?
Of course.
Yeah, no matter where she's living?
Yeah, well, what are you getting at?
Just needed some info to help me make up my mind. Thanks, Ray.
Velveeta versus butter.
Watch.
Go away. Go away, whoever it is. Tina, if that's you coming back with more good advice, I've got a few words for you. Max. Why all the knocking? You live here. You could have come straight in.
Listen, I have had it with your fantasy of us setting up house. I think it would be best for all of us if you move back home.
What?
Listen, I talked with Rafe. We'll have police protection around the clock. You'll be safe back at home.
No, I won't. But you don't care, do you? You don't care what happens to me.
Of course I do.
Then why are you throwing me out?
Because I need to live my life again, and I can't do that with you living here.
Then move back in, I promise. I won't be any trouble.
That will not work. You know that.
It's because I got jealous, isn't it? I'm sorry it won't ever happen again. Please let me stay.
You are not going to make me change my mind. I want you out of here by tonight.
Max, don't. Just because I made one mistake, please.
No, I made the mistake by trying to take care of you for Steve's sake, and you took my love for him and you twisted it to fit your own needs. Listen, I'm moving back in tonight. I expect you to be gone.
Very well, Max Holden. But don't think for 1 minute that you can get rid of me that easily.
What are you doing here?
I was waiting for you.
Oh, and how'd you know I was here?
Because I looked all over town for you, and then I finally bumped into Vicky, and she told me that you were here visiting Gabrielle, so I thought I'd just grab a little lunch and wait and see if I could see you.
You know, I could get to like that. It's like having my own personal groupie.
Well, since nobody's looking, maybe this groupie could be lucky enough to get a kiss from his favorite leading lady. You know how hard it is for me to concentrate on business when I'm always thinking of you? We've got to find some way to spend more time together, okay, Tina? Because I'm tired of taking cold showers.
Yeah, well, I missed you, too. And the only reason I was here seeing Gabrielle is because I didn't have anything better to do. I mean, she is my best friend, and I do care what happens to her and everything like that. But if you could find some better way for me to occupy my time, I'm sure it could be arranged.
Darling, if you'll give me just a few of those spare hours that you seem to have on your hands, I tell you what, I'll make it worth your while.
Henry, as you know, I have given a great deal of thought to gaining control of Ace's holdings. But there is one disturbing thought that keeps recurring.
What's that?
Clint Buchanan. Sending him off on a fool's errand isn't going to give us the time we need. And when he comes back, we have to make sure that he doesn't interfere with Beau's part of the plan. So we have to divert Clint away from Asa. You know, create problems that Vicky can't handle, perhaps even a little sabotage. But whatever it takes, we have to keep Clint away from what we're doing.
Precisely. I've been doing a little thinking myself.
Yes?
About the necessity of bringing Dee Dee and Delilah back to Landview. After all, our key prisoner at this point is the genuine Beau, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, being one move away from checkmate, Dee Dee and Delilah are mere pawns. And therefore, quite expendable.
What the hell did they hit me with? How long was I up?